Okay, so it's been another interesting week for Payday 3, seeing the launch of some collaboration events and the release of a rather exciting blog post that not only shows off the next gadget making its way into the game, but also provides a bit of insight as to what the next few months are going to look like, as well as confirming the release window of the next free heist. But before we jump into all of that, let's talk about Twitch drops. Alongside the release of the Boys in Blue DLC, Payday 3 got its first set of Twitch drops. This current round of drops ends on the 22nd of July, and now we have a little more information about the next round of Twitch drops. Almir confirmed on stream this week that his very own personal mask will be part of the next drop, and I can only assume that we'll be getting other things alongside that, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. As for when this new set of Twitch drops will be available, we don't know just yet. We do know that it won't be going live until at least the 22nd, which is when the current round ends, but we also know that this next round will likely go live before the end of July, and we'll come back to exactly why we know that later. On the subject of masks, this week there have been two collaborations with Payday 3, one in Payday 3 itself and the other in Day-Z. In Payday 3, you can now get access to the Alienware Mask, or at least you should be able to get access to it. I've seen many others rocking the mask in-game, but I've had some technical difficulties redeeming it myself. All you need to do to get this mask is link your Alienware Arena account to your Nebula profile, and it'll appear in your inventory next time you load up the game, but I've not been able to create an Alienware Arena account, and it's something I'm currently troubleshooting in my own time. I really like the design of this mask. I know it doesn't glow as much as it does in the promotional images, but it's purple, and I really like the color purple if you couldn't tell by some of the channel's branding, and so I'm definitely going to be going out of my way to get this and jumping through whatever hoops I have to. Over in Day-Z though, you'll be able to find the masks of our core 4 heisters, and they'll be available until the 23rd of July. Now, let's take a look at this week's blog post, the headlining item being the upcoming Trip Laser, a new gadget with functionality in both loud and stealth gameplay that emits a 3-meter long laser that marks any NPC that crosses its path. By default, NPCs will be marked for 10 seconds, but of course this duration can be extended using the strategist line. This is going to be absolutely fantastic when it comes to the assassin skill line, but the trip laser itself can also be picked up and placed down again using the full recall skill from the scrambler line. Now, why is that important? Well, unlike the motion sensor, the trip laser has no limit to the amount of enemies you can mark. So you're trading off the range you can mark enemies from and the ability to mark enemies through walls to be able to mark enemies indefinitely. To stop this gadget simply replacing the motion sensor in any scenario, the motion sensor itself is having its charges doubled from 15 to 30. So bearing in mind that the trip laser requires that one skill point investment into the strategist line to make the best use of it, I still see the choice between the motion sensor and the trip laser being quite situational, which is good. For example, I imagine that I'll choose the motion sensor on Boys in Blue, but want the trip laser on a heist like No Rest for the Wicked. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what the trip laser is actually like when it's added to the game, and that begs the question of when that may be. Well, the second half of this blog post gives us some detail about the next few updates for the game, as well as parts of the plan for July, August and September. But just before we take a look at all of that, I want to take a moment to ask that you consider subscribing if you are enjoying the video. Anyway, the blog post concludes with an editor's note that states, as we know, that the team at Starbreeze have been working exceptionally hard over the last few months to get Payday 3 to where it is now, and as a result of that, they're taking a well-earned break, meaning that there won't be an update to Payday 3 in July, at least nothing comparable to a full DLC release. Liz mentioned on stream the other day that there is a hotfix for the Boys in Blue DLC in the works, and I'm assuming, just from the way that was spoken about, that that will be coming out in July, and if that is the case, then maybe I'm not hoping for too much when I say I'd like to see the trip laser in that patch, just as a little something for us to play around with until August. But even if not, that doesn't mean we aren't getting anything in July. The team have prepared some stuff for us whilst they're taking a break. We are going to be getting a community event with mask rewards. Obviously, we don't know what that entails just yet, but Almir mentioned a mask contest on stream the other day, so perhaps this is what he was referring to. We're also going to be getting the release of the next round of Twitch drops. Again, this is likely the one containing Almir's mask, the release of another Payday 3 roadmap, which I'm hoping is going to come with next week's blog post, post, but you can be sure I'll be here breaking it down as soon as we get our hands on it. And as an aside, I wonder if this is the same roadmap that the partners were shown a little while ago. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but that's piqued my curiosity. On top of all of that, we're also going to be getting some new Gateway report articles and updates to the Dragon Files. We're actually going to be talking about the Dragon Files again in one of my next videos. There's something that just doesn't sit quite right with me about Prospect 2 and who we understand to be the next heister coming to the game. Almir is going to continue his streams on both Tuesdays and Thursdays on the official Payday 3 channels, as well as streaming every single day of the month on his own Twitch channel. And of course, we can still expect the blog posts to continue at, I'm assuming, the same rate as they are now. So although the team is taking a break, they aren't leaving us without stuff to look forward to. And speaking of stuff to look forward to, while we aren't getting an update in July, we are getting 2 massive updates in August and September. And let's not forget that both of these updates are going to contain a full DLC, and now we have the confirmation that one of them will contain a free heist as well. I know it's been said that the free heist isn't going to be a legacy heist, though I'm still kind of disappointed that we're not getting a Hoxton Breakout remake alongside the potential Houston Breakout heist being Land of the Free. That's a serious opportunity missed there, Starbreeze, but in all seriousness, I am really excited for the free heist. In addition to these heists, we're also getting some other as of yet unconfirmed additions, which I can only assume to be more of the Operation Medic Bag changes that we're still waiting on. It seems like despite not getting a major update this month, we've still got a fair bit of stuff in the pipeline, and as always, I'll be here as and when it all happens. It's been just over a week since the release of Update 8 and the Boys in Blue DLC. You can find a comprehensive breakdown of the update as well as my thoughts on it by clicking the video on screen now, and I'll see you in the next video.